Hi, welcome back to Angulam for All YouTube channel. My name is Deepak Garish. In this series of videos, we will be learning the fundamentals and basics of English language. In order for you to learn any language for that matter, it is important that you need to learn the basics. In English, basics are nothing but learning parts of speech. So we will learn all the 8 parts of speech in detail, as well as we will also learn articles in detail in this series of videos. Hope you will like it. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel and do not forget to click on the bell button so that whenever we post a new video, you will receive a copy of it and a notification as well. Let's dive into the parts of speeches right now. All right. Now the first and foremost parts of speeches that we're going to learn is the nouns. Nouns are nothing but naming words, to be precise. So anything and everything that we name, that is nothing but a noun. That's as simple as that. All right. And the best thing when it comes to noun is that noun is the first word that we ever utter when we are born. For example, mom, dad, and words like these are nothing but nouns, right? Now, nouns can be broadly categorized into 7 different categories, right? So you have proper noun, common noun, collective noun, abstract, tangible, countable, and non-countable noun. Now, these are pretty simple to understand. All you have to do is understand the concept, wherein you would be able to identify the type of noun for that matter. Now, what is a proper noun? If you ask me, proper noun are nothing but they are unique nouns. End of the day. So, for example, names of a person, a place, we call it as, or days of week or months of a year. So it can be easily identified because wherever the word is, you will always capitalize the first letter of the word. That is what is a proper noun, right? So now, how do I identify a proper noun? Now, how can you say a name of a person is a proper noun, if you ask me? See, my name is Deepak, all right? So there will be thousands and thousands of Deepak in this world. However, I'm the only person with this physique, with this face now who has the name Deepak. As simple as that. Likewise, I live in Chennai. So that is the name of the place where I live in. There may be a lot of Chennais in this world. I don't know. I only know one. However, so if there are different Chennais, I would still be able to identify when I'm able to pin down the location. So that is why it is called as a proper noun. And another thing, days of the week or months of the year, be it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, or Sunday for that matter. You can only have one of these days in a week. You cannot have multiple Mondays or multiple Tuesdays in a week. The same goes with year as well, the months in a year as well. So that is why they are categorized as proper noun. Now, proper nouns are nothing but unique, as simple as that. That is how you need to identify them. However, when you speak about common nouns are common. So wherever you see an object, the marker, now I will only identify this as a marker. I won't have a name for it whenever I identify it. So that is why it is called as a common noun. A noun, if it's not a proper noun, most probably it will be a common noun. And the beautiful thing with English language is that the words can be categorized or identified as different types depending upon the context that they fall into. However, there is something called as a broad category. That is what we are looking at here right now. And the third type of noun is called as a collective noun. Now, a collective noun is nothing but basically you're going to give a name for a group of noun put together. That is what is called as a collective noun. A collective noun can be both singular or plural, right? Now, for example, the army, it is actually a collective noun, but you also have armies, that is again a plural of the collective noun. Now, what is the difference between the army and the armies, right? If you look at it, when I say the army, right, it is a singular. It is counted as a single person or it's a single object. That is how it works out because they're all working towards a similar goal. That is where, we say the army is marching towards the city center, right? When you say the armies are marching towards the city center, here there may be multiple armies of multiple factions that we're looking at here. Now, faction being it may be from a different country as well, or from a different state as well. So you can identify as different factions here, just to put it in an easier manner to understand. So here, army, armies. That's an example. Now, another example I can give you is that the cabinet, right? The cabinet is convening. Here, the cabinet, in the sense comprises of a lot of ministers, right? So here I'm identifying this as a singular noun, the cabinet, right? Likewise, I can say the vessels. The vessels there are multiple vessels wherein it can be ship, it can be a trawler, it can be anything for that matter. Something that flows, something that is used for transportation of goods or passengers. So I'm just using the word vessels here. That again comes under collective noun. So that is how you identify a collective noun. Basically, you give a name for a group of noun in order to categorize or identify them. For example, the word noun for me in itself is a collective noun because I'm using the word noun in order to categorize multiple nouns like these. So that is how it works out, right? Now the next two are pretty easy to understand. Abstract noun is something that I will be able to feel, however, I cannot touch it. I would be able to feel, however, I cannot touch it. That is the reason most of your emotions or state of being, they all come under abstract noun. For example, when I say I'm sad or I'm saying I'm happy, all right? So happy here is an abstract noun because I'm able to feel it, however, I cannot touch it, right? Whereas tangible noun is something that I can touch and feel as well. For example, this is a marker wherein I can touch and feel the marker, right? This is a whiteboard wherein I can touch and feel the whiteboard. That is what is called as a tangible noun. Whereas an abstract noun is something wherein, I cannot feel it. I cannot touch it, I can only feel it. Tangible noun is also called as concrete noun, wherein you're able to touch and feel it. That is how it works out. So I hope you understood the difference between proper noun, common noun, collective noun, abstract noun, and tangible noun. The next two people generally get confused, an countable or non-countable noun. Now, when it comes to countable noun, wherever, to whichever noun that you are able to, identify that with a numeric system, or you can assign a numeric system, right? I have a noun wherein I can assign a numeric system to the noun, then that noun becomes a countable noun. Wherein if there is a noun that I have and I'm unable to assign a numeric system and I end up assigning a metric system to that particular noun. See, understand the difference. Numeric system, metric system. For example, countable noun. I have 10 people in this session right now. So I have 10 people. So I can identify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whereas when it comes to non-countable noun, I have a pinch of salt or a handful of sand. Here, I'm using a handful of sand, wherein I cannot count each and every grain of sand here, or a pinch of salt, wherein I cannot count each and every grain of salt there. So that is the reason why we say I have a kilogram of salt or a kiloliter of milk. Now, anything that is like kind of a liquid obviously comes under non-countable because you will not be able to count the liquids there, right? And the easiest way to identify whether a noun is countable or non-countable is it to try and frame a question with that noun. For example, wherever you are able to identify or rather prepare a question with how much, much, the quantity, then that becomes a non-countable noun. How much is this? How much money do you want? How much salt do you want? How much sugar do you want? All these things, right? How much milk do you want? Now, all these things are non-countable. Whereas wherever you're able to use or frame a question with many, right? How many people are there in this session right now, right? Now, how many computers do you have and how many cars do you have? So wherever you use many, that becomes a countable noun. So that is how you identify difference between countable and non-countable noun. Now, just a quick recap here. So you have proper noun, which are unique. These nouns are always unique. You can identify it easily because in any given sentence, they'll be capitalized. The first letter of the word will be capitalized. Then you have common noun. Now, common nouns are something like, when a noun is not a proper noun, most of the time it will be a common noun. A name given to a common object or an object. Wherever you see that object, you identify that with the noun. That is how it works out. Now, in collective, one noun to identify a group of nouns. That is how collective noun works. Abstract, something that I can only feel, whereas I cannot touch it. The tangibility is not there. That is why it is called as abstract, whereas the other one tangible because you are able to touch and feel it, right? I'm able to use my sense of touch when it comes to tangible nouns. That is how it works out. Now, countable, non-countable, where I'm able to use numeric system I can identify the noun with a numeric system, then that becomes a countable noun. Whereas if I'm able to identify the noun only with a metric system, right, then that'll be considered as non-countable nouns, right? Whereas here I'll be using how many, here it'll be much. So that is the difference between, these are the categories of nouns here. These are broadly used categories of nouns that we generally use in our English language. I hope you like this video. I would request you to kindly click on the like button as well as subscribe button. And do not forget the bell icon there on the bottom right corner, right next to the subscribe button, so that whenever we release a new video, you will get a notification for that. And do share the video with all of your friends, and whomsoever is trying to learn the language. And I'll be more than happy if you can comment your thoughts in this comment section. And if you want a specific content to be created, please do let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you. Thank you. Stay safe. Take care.